Hey, everybody. Welcome to week 4 of our first mentorship group. So exciting that we made it to week 4. Some of y'all, it might be like your week 1, might be your week 2, but we have officially been here for 4 weeks and I am so excited. So, first off, we want to let you know that just because this is the 4th week, we're going to start a new mentorship group in February. It's still the same thing. Like once you're in the mentorship group, you're not kicked out. You're always going to be here. This is a tool that you can use to always come back to, plug yourself into, because the resources are amazing. Thank you, Brittany and Christina and all the other jewels that helped create that. It is fabulous. It's been so good. And also, we hope that your goal is, as you're learning the system and as you're starting to share with other people and the opportunity, that you can start using this to help grow your business as well, putting people into the mentorship to help grow your business. So you're all in here. It's never going away. So keep using it. And also, because I don't know if we've done this since we've started this or not, but it is the 4th week and some of y'all have already hit your first rank and we want to know who has. So if you've already hit silver, or if you've double ranked or whatever, can y'all shout it out in the chat? Abby, can you read those out? Because I don't have it where I can see the chat.
See if I can get caught up. Let's see. We've got Logan Hayden, Amanda Davis. Congratulations.
That is awesome.
Kristen Harris.
Yay. That is awesome. Okay, so a lot of y'all are still even working on your silver rank, which is great. You still have 2 full days. Who all needs like 1 more join, 2 more joins, 3 more joins, all the things? Shout that out so we can celebrate y'all and cheer y'all on too.
Melissa needs 1 more.
Oh,
got this. Audrey, 2 more. Marley, 1 more. Whoop, whoop.
That is so fun. So fun. All right. Well, I am proud and excited for all of y'all. Okay. Let's get to it. We're going to talk about follow-ups, y'all. So end of month means it's time to close on some deals, and that means it is time to follow up. So if you had people join you after the first reach out or the first time you've ever mentioned Plexus, yay, that's awesome. But I'm here to tell you that's not normal. That is absolutely not normal. It just means that they trust you a whole bunch. So make sure that you help them get great results with their products. But in reality, it usually takes 8 to 12 follow-ups before someone decides to join you. And y'all, Abby's going to go over that next, and she's going to give y'all some great samples and on how to follow up. But I wanted to address some of the feelings that some of y'all, not everybody, may be having about reaching back out. And since I am queen of all the feelings, Abby thought that I would be great at this part. So some of y'all may be killing the follow-ups. If this does not apply to y'all, you may end up having somebody who does struggle with this mindset. So listen up. But if you are like me, all in your feelings about things, and you may be thinking, or you may be nervous about reaching out again because you don't want to be a pest, or you don't want to come across as salesy, or you don't want to come across as pushy, which that's good. We don't want you to come across that way either. And again, we're going to show you how to not come across that way. But just know if you have these feelings, that it's completely normal. And it's also overcomable. I just realized like I talk with my hands a lot. I do that in my stories too, like Alec and Tarl. But I'm going to share with y'all how I overcame the fear of following up, because I had a lot of it. So first thing I did was belief. I built my belief in what I had. And so that you have to have that, because if you don't believe in what you have, then you're not going to go in there and feel confident in reaching back out with them again, right? And so if you don't have your own story, and y'all, I started sharing these products like my first week. And I didn't have very much results. I think I had stopped craving sugar. That was it. And I had all the feelings, so I wasn't confident in sharing. But what I did is I went into our gut health and happiness group and I built my belief there. And when I started realizing how many things that these products help with, I was like, oh snap. It's about to be on, about to tell all the people because all these people have these same struggles. So definitely starts with belief in what you have. And the other thing is I stopped making it about me. Everything I feared about following up rooted back to what would they think of me? Would they think I was pushy? Would they think I was salesy? So I chose to make it about them instead. And y'all, I still have to deal with this now. I still have to coach myself on this. I was just telling Abby a while ago about something else. I was coaching to my own self about the same thing. So, sorry. So if I had to tell myself, so I had to tell myself things like, if I reach out to them again, they may say yes, and I may can help them be a less moody mama, or maybe be able to get on their floor and play with their grandkids, or maybe help them when they go back to the doctor, they don't have deficiency in all the things, vitamin D or iron or whatever. Maybe I can help them with their digestive struggles, whatever. And so you never know what people are silently struggling with. So I just chose to get over my dang fears and do it anyway. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, Christina followed up with me, let's see, like 462 times. Okay. Seriously, it was a lot. I mean, like a lot, probably 20 something. I can't remember how many, but it was a lot. And I never thought, gosh, this girl's annoying. I really didn't. I'm surprised. But what I was annoyed with was myself, because I knew I needed something, but it was always the timing. Like she'd message me and I'll be like, well, I don't need to spend the money. Or I just wasn't in the right mind to commit to something like that. So the timing was always off. And so when she would message me, I sometimes would respond and sometimes I wouldn't. And it wasn't like I was annoyed by her. I knew that eventually I probably would join her, but I just couldn't right then, or I wasn't making it a priority right then. And so if Christina had of let her fear, which I don't know if Christina even had this fear, but if she had let the fear of what other people think or what I was going to think about her messaging me 462 times, y'all, I would still be having to carry around this brown bag of all my stomach meds. I would still be going to the doctor every month for sinus and allergy problems. I would still be having joint pain, was having my knee injected. I would still be on anxiety medicine. I would still be on sleep medicine. I was a disaster. I would still be punching a clock at a job that I did not love anymore, that I was crying every single weekend that I was working because I was sacrificing time with my kids, things I was missing, important things. And so I have to tell myself when I go to reach out to somebody, I'm like, no, they could be struggling like I was. What if this one more reach out? And I'll just get chills thinking about it. But what if she didn't? What if she didn't reach out to me one more time? Where would I be? I'll tell you, I'd be a hot mess, depressed and not happy. That's where I would be. So it's so easy to think, well, I've messaged them and they didn't respond. Must mean they're not interested. Nope. That is not what it means. It means the timing may be off. They don't know what you know yet. They may have forgot to respond. They might have even responded in their head. I literally had somebody tell me that last week. And they may even have questions or concerns. I have been talking to a friend of mine for several months, probably 6 months at least. And we've seen each other just in passing in town, but we're always like in a hurry. And so we're just getting like little tidbits of information. She'll ask me questions. And I went through the whole recruiting thing over Messenger, but she's just a very busy person. And so last week, I said, Lynn, listen, I said, I know that you want to do this. I said, but I still feel like you have some questions or concerns. When do you have 15 minutes? We can hop on the phone. So it may be where you have to be creative like that. Get them on the phone, help them overcome what is keeping them from going ahead and doing the dang thing, I guess. But she ended up joining me the next day, but she really just needed a little bit more information. And it was so much more helpful with her hearing me over the phone and us talking it through in a better time for her. So that is pretty much all I got about all the feelings. And if y'all don't have those feelings, well, then just scratch everything I just said. But I had all the feelings about it. And I am going to pass it over to Abby. and let her go over her pretty little slideshow, y'all. Listen, I got this right here. These are my notes. And Abby's got a beautiful slideshow for y'all, just so y'all know.
No,
It
it's
all
not,
matters.
it's not beautiful or fancy or anything, but I think it'll work. I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to that. But yeah, so I love everything that Terry shared, and we all have the feelings. If you don't have them now, you'll have them later. So get used to identifying what your feelings are and knowing that they're normal. You don't have to stay stuck with them, right? So get help from your upline, do some journaling, figure out, is this thought serving me? Is this thought moving me forward? And if not, then it's something that needs to be worked through, and it can be. So before I show you my little slideshow, I want to talk to you guys about Kohl's for a second. So many of us are familiar with the clothing store Kohl's, right? One of my favorites. And I want to talk about how they follow up with you when you have some Kohl's cash to spend. How many times are they in your email? Like 100 times, right? They're like, okay, you have 30 days to spend your Kohl's cash. And then they're like, hey, you got 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week to spend your Kohl's cash. And then it's counting down the days, right? 3 days, 2 days, 1 days. And then I think it's literally counting down the hours. Like you have 8 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, maybe even it's less than that, right? But they're always counting down. And I think I know it's because good marketing, right? But for me, like I always appreciate those reminders because I'm like, yes, I don't want to lose my Kohl's cash. Yes, I want to get that sale. I want to take advantage of that. And I'm so thankful for those reminders because I get busy with life. And so we get to do the same thing for our people, right? People appreciate reminders. They don't want to miss out on deals. They don't want to miss out on sales or freebies for us this month, right? So it helps bring me back to focus. And like Terry said, little bits of information sometimes, right? So our job here with the last 3 days of the month is to create urgency, to be excited, to close these sales, to get people on board. For me, it's being persistent, but doing it in a caring way. I just don't want my friends to miss out on free products and amazing deals. So that's the posture we want to have as we're following up and wrapping up the last 3 days of this month. And follow up boldly, follow up confidently in what we have to share. So with that, I am going to go to my little slideshow and give you guys some wordings to use. And if you have not, let's see. Can you guys see that? Is it super small? Let's see. What about that? Good? Okay. If you guys have not used your phone to take a picture of the screen, you can do that right now. And then what you can do after the calls tonight is pull up your little screenshot and then copy and paste the wording into your messenger, into your notes app, wherever you need the wording. It is a fantastic trick. So you do not have to go and rewrite everything. Okay. So this first message is for somebody who said they were open to hearing more, but then it goes quiet. They don't respond to you when you start asking them about their health goals. Hey, Jen, connect with them here. I know you were interested in hearing more about Plexus and what it could do for you. Is now better? I am curious, what health goals would you love to see changes with? Energy, cravings, sleep, weight? I normally just pick 3 or 4 basic ones that I feel like people might be struggling with to get that conversation going. So very simple. It's very normal for people to say they're open and then they forget to respond. So we're just going back in there and following up again. Okay. Someone you've been in conversation with and you want to share the sale with them. So this is someone you have gone back and forth with health goals. Maybe even they've watched the triplex video or the reset triplex video. Hey, Jen, I hope your week is off to a great start. It's crazy how quickly the weekends go. I hope you got in some good family time. I know we've been chatting about Plexus and how amazing these products could be for your health. List off their goals if you know them. I know that these products could be amazing for your acne, your bloating, and how you can't sleep at night, right? Be specific to them. We've got some big sales going on through the end of the month, and I'd love to share a bit more with you about. I'd love to share a bit. Okay, yeah. Can I send you details? Sorry, there might be some typos here. Can I send you details? Very simple, right? You talk about what these products can help them with, Who doesn't want to know about a sale, right? And so ask that to them. Okay, this message is a follow-up idea to a no response in regards to getting started. So maybe you've got their health goals, they've seen a video, maybe a testimonial, but when you go to share pricing and all that, they don't respond. Hi, Jen. I saw this story today and it made me think of you. I know that your results can be the same. Your victories are next. Are there any questions I can answer for you? Or are you ready to get started? So here's an example, you guys, of adding value to somebody in a follow-up. We do not want to get in the rhythm of just coming in to see if they're ready to get started. Hey, are you ready? Hey, do you want to see the sale? We're trying to get something from them when we need to make sure we're giving them something to either educate them, inspire them, encourage them. So I found a testimonial that I feel like they'll relate with, and then I pop it in their inbox and I'm adding value to them. Try to get a before and after picture if you can. Those are always eye-catching, but very simple, right? Share a story, tell them you know that they'll be next, that bold posture, and then ask them, are they ready to get started? Or you could also use the phrase, is there anything holding you back from getting started? That will help reveal, is it timing? Is it they need more information? Is it pricing, etc.? Okay, so we want to be following up with people starting today, right? Last 3 days and for tomorrow. And then third day, the last day of the month is really important that you are back in their inbox. So last day, creating urgency with the free balance. Hey, Jen. How are we already at the end of January? I feel like I'm filling up your inbox, but I don't want you to miss out on the big sales ending tonight. I would love to help you get started and not only grab that free bottle of our fabulous balance. I'd probably send a balance graphic here so they can see what it's all about and get $10 off your order. But we've also got a step challenge we are doing as a team next month and would love to have us be accountability partners with getting in more miles. The sale ends tonight. What are your thoughts? Okay, so I'm presenting them with everything that they can take advantage of, right? The free product, the $10 off, the step challenge. Guys, this step challenge is going to be so good. This is fresh, something new. People are excited about moving their body, getting miles in, competition, community, prizes. This is the perfect thing to leverage getting people on board before the end of the month. And then this is the same exact script, except you take off the $10 off and it's a free slim, basically an $80 value. Same thing, right? Presenting it all. What are your thoughts? So those are some follow-up ideas. I hope that helps. Now, as you are following up with people for the next 3 days, you also want to be sending out initial new messages yet, because that is going to help set you up for success in February. So here's an example of a new message you can use to talk with someone you have not talked to about Plexus with yet. So, hey, Jen, I hope your week is off to a great start. It's crazy how quickly the weekends go. Okay, same thing. I'm thinking about you today because I'm so excited about the new health journey I have been on. The clean gut health products help with energy, cravings, digestion, sleep, weight, and more. We've actually got some fun sales going on through the end of the month. If you're open to some healthy changes in your life this year, I'd love to share more. So you guys, don't hold back from sending new messages yet, because I have closed people in 3 days' time. They said yes on Monday. We educated on Tuesday. Wednesday, they were on board. Is that typical? No, I wouldn't say that, but it can happen. And guess what? Even if that person on Wednesday says they're not quite ready or they haven't responded a ton yet, you can still continue that conversation out, and they could very well join you at the front of February or sometime next month. So don't forget your new messages as you're following up and closing the deal with people. Okay. So I hope that helped. Just to reiterate, guys, the importance of bringing value to this follow-up process. So I shared with you how you can share a testimonial. You could invite them to an event that's going on this week. You could share a video with them so they can learn more. Maybe someone's really doing their research and you want to send them the ingredient list. Maybe you want to just simply offer a sample, maybe go drive, maybe they're in town, go drive, drop off a sample for them to try to get them off the fence. So bring value to people in these follow-ups. And then as far as the timeline goes, you guys, again, we're trusting the process. Some people will join quickly, some will take a lot longer, and it's very, very normal. And if they don't join now, they will eventually join you. So guys, my advice is do not get frantic. Don't get sloppy, and don't get salesy. Like Terry said, just you don't want to make this all about you and making that sale, right? We want to try to keep it others focused, service over sales. Guys, I would rather, and this happened to me, I don't know which month it was, but I feel like at the end of the month, I had so many people on the fence, and I just knew that I did not want to rush the process because I had a feeling that if I just quickly closed just to get a sale, they would fall off. They would turn off their subscription. They did not have realistic expectations. They didn't even really know what they were getting into. They did not know about the 90 days and the subscription. They were going in for the quick fix, and then they would turn off their sub right away, and then they're done forever. And I'm not getting paid consistently. They're not getting results. So in my mind, I want to preserve that education process. So just keep that in mind, guys. Yes, we want to close deals. Yes, we want to get people started, but also let's make sure we're doing this in a classy, clean way, so to speak. Okay. And then just a little perspective, and then we're going to jump into coaching. So I hope you guys have questions ready for us. It's 8 to 12 follow-ups typically to get people on board. This could be over a 2-day time span. This could be over a 2-week time span, a 2-month, or a 2-year time span, right? So, for example, if you've been messaging people and you already have 3 or 4 messages out to them and they've never responded and they're not engaging with you, then I would move that person out a few months. We want to be careful not to get so desperate that, oh my gosh, I messaged them 4 times and they didn't respond. We want to make sure that we are balancing out plexus, personal, asking a good question, bringing value. And if people, you've had several messages out and there's nothing, then yeah, I would move them out a month or 2 and just circle back around to them, and maybe they'll be ready to have a conversation at that time. And just so you guys know, even if you try to follow this flow or system exactly to a T, there will always be a conversation that does not fit the mold. So I encourage you guys to stay in touch with your sponsor, okay? Share with them the conversations you're having. Share your screenshots. Ask for help when you get stuck. There is no dumb question, you guys. This is how the learning happens, through coming for feedback. You take action, you come for feedback. You take action, you come for feedback. Do you get this? So this is where the learning will happen, and this is how you're going to really understand this recruiting process as well. So that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. I'm not in the chat. All right, we're going to open this up for coaching for this last half an hour or so. So what questions do you all have about what we just shared with you, following up, closing the deal? Who can we help?
I mean, I get questions all day from my new business builders, and some of them are on here. So, y'all, I'll call somebody out.
I have someone that is only wanting to just do the pink drink. I've explained to her that the triplex is, going to give her the best benefits, to do the bio cleanse and the probiotic, the probio 5, but she is still just adamant that all she wants to try is just the slim hunger control. So should she just, if that's all because she doesn't want to swallow pills. And I told her that they're capsules. She could open them up, put them in her coffee. She doesn't drink coffee. She only drinks milk in the mornings. So, but she's only willing to try just the slim hunger control. What do y'all think that I should tell her?
That is a great question. Yeah, Amy's like, is there another product we could add in with that to get it up to 100 PV? Yeah, so what are her health goals? What does she want to see changes with?
She just wants to lose about 5 to 10 pounds. That's it.
Okay, have you recommended the MetaBurn?
I've recommended the MetaBurn, just doing, even just the triplex. And she said she doesn't want to take any type of pills.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, because the Metaburn is 1 pill, it's 2 pills versus 4 to 8 a day.
Okay.
So that could minimize that. Christina said, yeah, she could do 2 pink drinks a day, one in the morning and then one in the afternoon.
I thought about that today too.
Yeah. I mean, that would get her over 100 PV
Okay.
with her order. And if that's what she's really set on, then yeah, she could take one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Some people will do like the microbiome one in the morning to get the gut benefits and then do the hunger control in the afternoon, especially if they're like headed home from work before they
Okay.
get to that snacky time of day.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you could propose that to her and see if she's on board
To
with
drink 2 a day.
2 drinks
Okay.
versus capsules. Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right. Thank you.
I would also tell her too, I mean, of course, it's going to increase her chance of weight loss with 2 pink drinks a day, but also because she has 100 PV each month, she's going to accrue perks. I would let her know about her perks. That way, every few months, she might get a free bag of Active for extra energy, or a free bag of
Okay.
Hydrate, or even the lean shakes. Lean shakes are not supplements, so I mean, she could use the lean shakes as meal replacements too.
Okay. Perfect. And I also offered to her the reset, since it was just a quick 5 to 10 pounds that she wanted to lose, but she wasn't willing just to go on just the 3 days reset just yet.
Okay. Yeah. Try the 2 pink drinks and see if she's on board with that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
Um, what about how do you handle? I get a lot of people, I just can't afford it right now, or I don't have the money. And I know I've gotten some advice from others, but just how do you respond with that? What are some good,
Yeah.
like,
Terry, you want to go?
Um, 2 different ways, really. I mean,
yeah,
so for me, I'd usually just share my story. I usually just say, listen, I totally understand, because I do. I mean, that is why I put it off for a long time. I wasn't willing to cut anything back. I just wasn't. I drank Mountain Dew. I did all the things, like I was not willing to cut those things out. But I also, I mean, I didn't have any extra room, but in my spending, but I had a lot of medical bills. And so that was one thing Christina helped me to see was, okay, but if you did not have doctor bills going, like if you weren't spending money there, would this be cheaper? And so, I mean, she just helped me see, like, it was actually cheaper for me to purchase Plexus if it was going to help me with A, B, C, and D, because I was spending so much money on bad habits, of course, going out to eat all the time, and then also my medical bills. And I had a lot of medical bills, and so I don't have that anymore. And then, of course, the other thing is, if she's somebody who has potential and you feel that this will be a good fit for her, or it don't matter if you feel like it could be a good fit for her,
yeah.
then I share the opportunity and say, I tell them that is exactly why I shared with my 2 best friends at the time and my mom. And within 2 days, I had them signed up as my accountability partners, and I had my products paid for.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the idea of trying to figure out if there's other costs that they could swap out. Like Terry said, for me, it was just not hitting up the candy aisle every time I was at the store. For some people, it's Starbucks, it's other supplements they're already taking that they could swap out for the Plexus ones. So yeah, just seeing if there's some ways that we could make it more affordable for them, but then also building the value, just saying, hey, it comes down to like $4 a day. $4 a day for your health. Do you feel like that would be worth it if you are fitting into your jeans again? You're sleeping at night. You have all day energy. You're not having that crazy anxiety anymore. Like, just speak their story over them and then ask me, do you think $4 a day would be worth it? I mean, it's cheaper than a Starbucks drink, right?
Right.
So just kind of showing them the value of everything that's going to change when they're ready to invest about that $4 a day. And then, yeah, I would also share the opportunity, just letting her know, hey, when I help you help 3 people in your life, you'll make $340. I think that's what it is this month. So just showing her that you can help her get her product costs covered so she doesn't have to worry about budgeting for that.
Well, what about that as another one? Like, I've got one girl I've been talking with for a while now, several months, and well, I really don't want to do the business. I really, but yet she could really use the money. It would be a great opportunity for her. Um, but I haven't been able to get her to see that yet.
Yeah, I would figure out why she doesn't want to do the business. You know, what is
Mhm.
what is holding her back from doing something like that and
I
seeing.
think a lot of it is just she's scared, but to take that jump. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, then I would try to cast vision with her, share some stories of other women like her who are succeeding, who are seeing success. You just might need to build her belief a little bit before she's ready to take that step.
all right. Thank you.
Mhm. And Christina did mention the objection section of the confident conversation
Mhm.
guide. Did you see that?
Yes, I have. I've got that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Just wanted a little bit more perspective.
Mhm. Yeah, good questions. Jennifer Wilcox, where are you at? I know you have a question. You said that in the chat.
Hey, right here.
Hey.
Hey, so I kind of wanted to piggyback on the objection part. So I've had a few like pricing comments not wanting to do that. So I went through the objections, try to get them to see like, hey, this is what it would look like if you didn't have the doctor bills or you didn't spend the money on this or that. And they went silent. What would you say after that to follow up?
Yeah. Carrie, you got a good follow-up line?
So you're saying what you said to them last was, this is what it would look like if you did not have those doctor bills, and then it just went silent. How was the conversation before that?
I went through all the questions, they were interested, and then they asked about the pricing, and then they're like, oh, I think it's too expensive for me. So then I went through the objection and stated, you know, you could get rid of this and this, think about all the money you'd be saving, or you could like use your VIP link to share with friends and family to get free product credit. And then they were still silent about it.
I'm thinking, I feel like I'm on the spot. I'm really good at this usually.
Well,
Um,
I think it's just, did you end with a question?
Yes. Yep. I would say like what would your thoughts be going forward with sharing or something like that?
Yeah.
I think I would probably pop back in there later. I don't know when maybe a day. I mean, she could have been driving down the road and saw it and then just was busy and didn't respond.
Yeah.
I would just pop back in there and say, hey, listen, I know life is busy and I'm busy. I can totally relate. I'm just curious if you had gotten my last message
Okay.
and what your thoughts were about that. Abby, what do you think?
Yeah. Same thing. I just think, let's see what she thought about that message. I know Amy also recommended a testimonial that she could maybe relate with it. Well, yeah, it would probably get her figure out what would keep her from exploring this opportunity. And then if she shares a certain objection with you, you could work through that and then also bring in a testimonial of someone else who felt the same way or someone she could relate with that was able to overcome that objection.
Yeah, and Brittany said feel felt found. And I do that a lot because like I did have a price objection. And so I tell them, like, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way. And this is how I looked at it, which is pretty much what you did. I mean, you shared that. You gave her another perspective or whatever, but I try to relate and normalize, like, did you understand how she feels? But you would love to see her not struggle with those things. And so if y'all could, talk it through and figure out a way, um, I usually just talk to them like that.
Perfect. Thanks. I'll try that and testimonial too.
Good job, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Y'all, objections are normal. Like the more you overcome these objections and learn them, the more confident you're going to feel. But I always expect an objection, always, every time. And then I love the challenge of helping them overcome it. It used to freak me out, but now I love the challenge.
Yeah, an objection is really just an open door. You know, it's not a closed door. No would be a closed door. An objection is basically just saying, help me understand what you already know.
Yes. Yep. They just don't know what we know.
Mhm.
But you didn't know what you know before either. Probably every one of y'all had an objection.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think she's on now. She was on earlier. My most recent join, I've been talking to her for a while and she's wanted to do this. She's wanted to, just didn't have the money. And the other day I talked to Katie about it and I just got a voice clip and just poured out my heart to her and poured vision into her of what this could be. And when I was done, of course, I was in tears, and I think probably her listening to it, she was in tears, but I poured my heart out to her, and she's like, okay, I'm ready. I want to do this. And she's already gotten her first join. But it just, those are scary because you think you're going to sound stupid, but it's you. They need to hear your voice. It miscommunication happens so much in a text, but if they can just hear your voice, it's just, and even with that, sometimes they can't hear that. And that's when you go back and say, hey, I don't know if you heard my clip, but, I hope you hear my heart when I'm talking to you, even in that, like the text part, because they may not go back and listen to it or they may not have to. But if you say, I really hope you heard my heart in this, physically typing that, then they're going to listen. I don't know. They just need to hear your voice.
Yeah. There's definitely power in sharing your voice for sure.
Yeah, that's good, Amy. Every time that I've been maybe dropping several follow-up messages, I'll usually go in there about every other time and leave some kind of voice message. But I mean, I do. I'll just say, listen, I am so sorry I keep blowing up your messenger, but I'll just share my heart, just like Amy. Amy says, just share with them exactly how you're feeling.
Can I add one thing too?
Mhm.
When I am doing feel, felt, found, the whole point of feel, felt, found is to help them understand how you used to be at the same limiting belief that they currently are. So if somebody is saying, I just can't afford that, what we have to do is help them know that we understand what they're saying. Like, we not only hear them, but we can relate to them. So it's not from a posture of trying to convince them to do what we want them to do. It's more so showing them how you used to feel the exact same way. And it almost held you back too until you found out this thing. So for me, when somebody says I can't afford it or whatever, I'll say, listen, I just want you to know I understand exactly how you feel. When I started Plexus, I was on a teaching income, and I actually remember thinking, I hope that these products don't work, because if they do, I have to figure out how to afford them every single month. So I understand how you feel, because I felt the same way too. Like, money was tight. There was no way for me to teach harder to make more money. But what I found is if I just cut out my daily convenience store runs or my, drive-through quick pit stop, I actually could find the $3.50 or $4 a day. I was already spending it somewhere anyway. And so for me, it was just a matter of changing a few little habits. Can you relate with that at all? And so you just kind of tell how you were there, how it felt to be there, and then what you found that got you somewhere different. And then you just ask them if they can relate at all. So that's kind of how I use feel, felt, found.
Yeah. I like that ending question. I gotta write that down.
Also, I almost fell off the treadmill just then. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I tried to cover it up while I was talking, but I have on a bedroom slipper and it almost really went south. And now my armpits are sweating because what if I had fallen off while y'all would have been like, that's why I don't walk on the treadmill.
That's why you was hating on me earlier. What
Listen,
did you get?
I didn't even grab the desk though. If I was going down, baby, I was going down.
Don't bust your skull wide open. All right, we got 18 minutes, y'all. What are your problems?
I have a question.
Let's hear it.
Who said it?
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Trying to find you.
I can hear you.
I
Oh,
talked
yeah,
to
we
someone
got you.
today. Okay. I talked to someone today. I work in a doctor's office, and he was the last patient of the day, and he has some skin issues. And he said, I don't know why it's bothering me so much right now. Do you think it's related to my health or my, something I should be taking? It's like, well, I think it's related to your gut, and I talked to him a little bit about that. And I, told him a little bit that so many things relate to the gut, and that Plexus has products founded in gut health and are leading in the industry. And I can give him some information. He's like, sign me up. And he's like, it's like when I just want to get going on it. Once I make my mind up, it's like, do you want me to send you some information? And he's like, no, I just want to get started and see if they can help me. So how do I go from there? Do I just give him start him on the triplex? Do I send him
Yes. Is
anything
this a
first,
doctor's
or
office?
ask him if he,
Sorry. Is this the doctor's office you were working at?
yes. He's just one of the patients that I was taking care of.
So I've worked in the medical field. I do think you have to be careful with being at your doctor's office or whatever. And if he says yes, go ahead and do that. Like if your boss or doctor that you're working for doesn't care, then yes, go ahead and sign him up. But what I did, like when I would be at the hospital and I would have a patient like that, I would just take their name. I would take their name, get their number. I would even give them my number and ask them, did they want me to call them later on? And so I signed 2 people up that way. That is what I do, because I mean, it is, I don't know if anybody else work in a doctor's office and they can relate to
I
that.
didn't do anything there. I just started talking a little bit about it, and then I did exchange information.
Yeah.
I guess now it's just, do I just sign them up, then get in contact with them and sign them up, or
Yeah, I would. Yes,
pursue
I would get them on the phone. I would get him on the phone because he probably, I don't know if he has, does he have Facebook or? I would get him on the
he
phone
didn't
and
say.
help. Is hers breaking up or me?
Hers.
Probably me.
Okay. I would get them on the phone and then help them understand what the triplex is and then ask him, is he ready to go? And then I would sign him up right over the phone. I mean, he sounds like he's ready. Like he's gotten to the point where he's just tired of being the way he is and he's ready. I understand the feeling.
Okay, thank you.
Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I guess I just wasn't sure if I should do anything more or just go ahead and do it.
I think I definitely would explain to him the process, like explain to him what the triplex is, the water, expectations, all of that, and say, does this sound like something that you want to commit to? And let him know that this is what it could help with, all the things it could help with. But he sounds pretty convinced, like he trusts you and wants to get started. So, I mean, I would definitely be getting him on the phone. Yeah, and April said ask them to contact you. So for me, I got their Facebook. And so I felt like after we became Facebook friends, we were Facebook friends. It was open. It was open game then. So that is how we went through, was through Facebook. These are great questions, y'all. 13 minutes, no pressure. Weird.
Anybody else have questions?
Maybe they're all just wanting to have their time back so they can go close all these deals.
Could
They're
be.
ready to
Let me
work.
ask a question. I have a question. So
Okay.
today, when I was speaking to somebody, they wanted to get information and talk to their doctor first. And I didn't really know what to say, in regards to that.
Yes, that's a great question, Michelle. Yeah, so typically if someone wants to talk to their doctor, I definitely am like, yes, absolutely talk to your doctor. And then what I will do is go on to the Plexus Go app and grab a product info sheet for the Reset Triplex, typically Triplex, and just say, would it be helpful if I sent you over product info sheets so you could share them with your doctor? And normally that they say yes. And so I will send that over to them, and then I will just ask them questions like, hey, when is your doctor appointment? Oh, it's on Thursday. Okay, well, looking forward to connecting with you later this week to see how it goes, and then mark them down so you don't forget to follow up with them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then in the meantime too, you can also be asking questions about their health too, and in the meantime, before your appointment, tell me more about what you want to see change in your health, and strike up that conversation and see if you can get to know their needs better.
Okay.
Why are they going to the doctor?
That's what I was going to say. Can I add something?
Mhm.
One of the things because I've had people that have had that same objection, and I would just tell them, that a lot of times doctors first go to is a medication. So I said, if you want to go the natural route, sometimes you may have to be the one to advocate for yourself that this is the route you want to go. And then have them check ingredients and everything in the info sheets. They won't find anything they object to. The only thing they may object to is that it's something they don't know because it's different for them.
Yeah, that's good. I do that too. And I go ahead and let them know. I say exactly what Abby said, but I just let them know, like, doctors, they literally have, unless you're a holistic naturopath doctor, whatever, they literally have one class on supplementation, their whole school. And so that's not their thing. Like, their thing is medicine. And so, definitely show it to them. But if they won't even look at it, then I got questions. I got questions.
Right.
But yeah, if they'll look at it, they usually will approve it because everything is super clean and natural. But a lot of times doctors will say, let's start you on this medicine first and let's hold off on that. Like, that is usually a lot of times what they say, because they
Yes.
want to put a Band-Aid on the problem. That's how they're trained.
I have a question.
Sure.
So today I've had two people who really didn't want to talk about anything except for, well, just tell me how much it costs. So how do you engage those people who don't really want to talk with you about what they're interested in fixing or what their concerns are? They just want to know how much it costs.
Let me go, Abby. So I will say, yes, I would love to share how much it costs. We do have several different combos depending on what your health goals are. So for me to be able to give you the right information, I'm curious what you struggle with. Like, what are you looking for to improve? And I mean, you have to know to be able to get, because there's no exact price. It depends on what their goals are. Have you tried that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just, maybe they just aren't wanting to share what their goals are yet. I know one, that's exactly what it was. Another, I think she's just on the fence.
So, and you sometimes may have to kind of be vulnerable yourself. I don't know if it's somebody that you know, but sometimes I'll say, for me, I dealt with terrible constipation. I dealt with moodiness and not sleeping well. And I'll just be real. I'll tell them all my problems. And then I'll say, can you relate to any of that? And they'll go, all of the above. Just had this conversation before we hopped on this phone. So if you just list out some problems that, and usually if you list out problems that most people have, because most people do struggle with those things, they'll usually say, oh, yeah, I do relate. A lot of times people don't even know what their problems are because they think their problems are normal. So just listing out something to trigger their thoughts. You know, I just how you type that while you walking? I'm gonna lose this step challenge. I know I am.
Well, I have a quick question. So, Abby, you mentioned asking them if you could send over resources before you actually sent it. Do you always ask permission, or is it like special cases with special people? Because sometimes I find like an extra like message where they have to respond. Sometimes if they're already delayed in responding, I'm a little bit nervous to ask and not hear back. So I'm just curious if that's like a rule or just an exception from person to person.
Depends on the day and my mood and the person. No. All of the above. I think out of common courtesy, I typically ask, and when I'm asking a question that I feel like they're going to be like, oh yeah, that would be helpful too. That's just kind of how I recruit is I generally ask before I send things over, but there's other people on this call that would probably just send it over and just be like, hey, here's this info sheet if you'd like to share it with your doctor. So I don't think you could go wrong either way when you're supplying them a resource that will help them do what they're trying to achieve. So do you have any other examples besides like sending an info sheet over that you're wondering about, Madison?
No, not really. I was just kind of seeing if that was something that you did every time or if you just did case by case.
It's case by
That's
case.
how I feel that I've been doing that. So just making sure.
Yeah.
And I thought if I was wondering that, then maybe others might too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes you read the room, you read the situation, and yeah.
Yeah, I do ask too, because I like to ask because it makes me feel like if they say, yes, please send it over, it makes me feel like they really do want it or they're really going to show their doctor. But also, like Christina said, kind of setting that appointment, like when you send the triplex video, I always say, hey, would you like me to send this video so it can help, better understand how our products work? And they say yes. And I say, great. When do you have a few minutes to check it out? And that way I can check back with you and see what you thought about it. And that way you're setting up another appointment. That's what I do too. That way, because I'm telling you, she did that with me my first week when I started watching the getting started video for the business. And that made me like want to go watch it right then. I was like, oh, she's serious. I got to go watch this right now. She's going to be back in my inbox for the 467th time if I don't. So I'm going to watch it. So it definitely helps. Got 4 minutes if we have one more question.
I'll piggyback on Madison. So my question is, obviously the videos are so beneficial, but when you have someone that you're talking to, and again, like Madison said, it's a delayed in the conversation, and maybe I'm prejudging that they may not really watch the video. Do you ever just send like kind of almost like the brochure of the triplex that has the slim, the Pro Bio 5, just a graphic so they can just see that? Is that something that's, or is that really not the best way to do it?
I don't personally do that because I don't think it's very effective. I will send a testimonial often to break the ice and to get the conversation going. Like I'll send it before and after that I feel like they'll be able to relate with and say something like, hey, sharing this story with you was super inspired by it. It reminded me of you. Curious if you're still open to hearing about Plexus, or curious if Plexus is still on your radar. Can I share with you more about Plexus? And then at that point, hoping we can get the conversation back up and running again, can continue the health goals, or maybe I'm going back in and just showing them the value of checking out that video again, and then trying to get back to the normal process. That's my opinion. Terry, I don't know if you're the same.
Same. Yep.
I just don't think a graphic replaces a video.
Yeah. And I mean, I really want them to watch that video before and understand what they're signing up for. I mean, that video is perfection when it comes to letting them know expectations and what the products do. So I think that is very important. Setting, I mean, if they don't know what they're even signing up for, I'm actually in a conversation with somebody now who tried it 5 years ago and she had no idea. And so that's why she didn't stick to it, because she probably didn't watch a video like that. So I just, same as Abby. All right, y'all. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that's a great question.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We are going to let y'all go so y'all can go potty in case any of y'all are getting